ChatGPT isn't just about asking questions, it's about how you ask. You've seen people online doing crazy things with it, like building projects, writing songs, or create ideas out of thin air. And you're like, how are they doing that? It's like you know you have a jet, but you're riding it like a bicycle. So in this video, I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to actually make creative ideas, whether you're a student, artist, manager, or developer. More importantly, I'll give you a master prompt at the end. It is one message you can just copy and paste it to unlock all those special features and reasoning tricks we will talk about. So let's make your prompt fly. Alright, in this first part, we are starting with the skill that literally changes everything, making ChatGPT think before it talks. I'm gonna show you both versions, the quick lazy prompt we all type and the pro version that tells ChatGPT how to think. You will see the differences soon.
Visual learning, visual learning.
Okay, so let's open ChatGPT. This one's called chain of thought, or as the pros call it, step-by-step reasoning. The idea is simple. When you tell ChatGPT to think out loud, it stops rushing to the answer and actually reasons through it. So watch this. I'll start with a lazy one. Give me 4 creative poster ideas for an indie album. Now let's see what we've got. It gave us 4 different options: fragments of sound, the noise between stars, broken stereo love, and echoes in slow motion. So there are just 4 categories with concept, design, mood, and palette. Now let's make it think. So we give it this prompt of think step by step. First list possible themes, then generate 4 poster ideas, map to those themes, explain your reasoning briefly, and we send. Now watch the difference. With the first prompt, it just threw random poster ideas, no structure, kinda generic. Now look at the second one. Because I said think step by step and list themes first, it actually organized the thinking before answering. It surfaces themes, then maps each poster idea to a theme. See how each idea now has a clear concept and the reason that why it fits. You'll notice more specific visuals, colors, textures, motifs, better title, taglines, and even layout suggestions. That's the whole point of chain of thought. You're not asking for ideas, you're asking for the thinking that makes the ideas good. That's the power of chain of thought. It makes ChatGPT explain its thinking before creating, so your ideas stop being random and start being intentional. The next one is tree of thought. Basically, instead of one straight answer, we ask ChatGPT to explore a few paths and then pick the best one. So in lazy prompt, we tell it to give me a concept for a gallery installation about memory and time. As you can see, we've got some topics like concept overview, spatial design, the past, the fading archive, the future, the room of unremembering, interactive layers, and artistic statement. In the second prompt, we say give me 3 completely different concepts for a gallery installation about memory and time. 1 visual, 1 sensory, 1 interactive. Compare them and tell me which one's the strongest and why. There we go. Can you see the difference? The first answer just gave me 1 random concept. Nice idea, but that's it. The second one though, look at that. It gave 3 totally different directions. 1 visual, 1 sensory, 1 interactive. Same structure every time and even a table comparing them side by side. It tells you which one's best and why. That's what we call a tree of thought. You make ChatGPT explore multiple paths and pick the strongest one instead of guessing. Now this one saves you from the wall of text problem. It's called a skeleton of thought, meaning ask for the bones first, fill in the meat later. So I write down this command line, write documentation for this change in my code. I've replaced opt parse, which is a deprecated version, with arg parse, which is the modern new version. So I have the old version of my code and the new one, and I'm asking for a good documentation for this change in my code. Okay, we have change summary, description, rationale, a comparison table with before, after, and aspect columns. So it's still writing. We also have an example of using old and new library, impact testing, and a follow-up question. Wow, okay. As you can see, we have like 800 lines of text nobody's gonna read. Then we are going to act wise. So we go, give me only the outline for my documentation first. Overview, old and new libraries, impact, limitations, examples, and FAQs. Wait for my approval before writing details. Okay, let's see what happens. With the first prompt, ChatGPT just dumped the full documentation right away. Too many text, but no structure. But when I said give me only the outline first and wait for my approval before writing details, that's why it's asking me about testing and validation. So let's say yes, add testing too, and send. So it gives me the final outline including my request with testing and validation. Again, there is another question asking me, shall I go ahead and write the detailed version based on this outline? Asking for my approval for writing about detailed version. So I'm like, I'm good with it. Let's go and send. Now it gives me a full detailed documentation with a table of aspects, the old and new version, impact, limitations, example. So it's step by step detailing and reasoning and answering to each category based on what it asked me and I approved. So again, it asks me about if I like to make a shorter commit message plus change log version of this for my Git history or release notes. I can say that yeah, go for it. The result here is clean, predictable sections in the same order every time and super easy to read. That's the skeleton of thought trick. Get the framework first, feel it later. You stay in control and ChatGPT stops going rogue with long, random paragraphs. Then again, we have multi-expert thinking. You basically make ChatGPT argue with itself. It acts like different expert roles, different perspectives. So here again we go with the lazy prompt. How should a small business price a new service? And we get pretty bland advice. Boring, like start with your costs, define the value you provide, research competitors, choose a pricing model, test and adjust, communicate the value, revisit regularly. Then we have our second prompt. So we have 3 experts. They are discussing about how should a small business price a new service. Act as each of these experts, argue with them and show me the final result. Okay, this one's super fun. Let's see. So it goes with expert A, the pricing strategist. Then we have expert B, the behavioral economist. It says that we should consider these 3 important things: anchoring, perceived fairness, and loss aversion. Then we have expert C. So the final 3-tier pricing model, the hybrid approach, is like a comparison table. And there is operator's summary about expert A, expert B, and expert C, and the final decision. So as we saw, the first prompt gave a solid structure answer, kind of like a blog post, logical steps, clear sections, but all from one voice. When I added the 3 experts setup, everything changed. Now ChatGPT is role-playing a panel of specialists. one talking about math and margins, another about psychology and perception, and the third one blending them into a real pricing model. It even ends with a 3-tier table that shows each plan, its price, and who it's for. That's the multi-expert thinking trick. Instead of one opinion, you get multiple perspectives debating and refining each other. It feels more human, more strategic, and way more creative. That's how pros use ChatGPT, not by asking better questions, but by telling it how to think.
Okay.
Next up, I'll show you how to turn all of these into one single reusable mega prompt. Okay, now this is where everything comes together. This is our mega prompt. Basically, one message that mixes all the reasoning techniques we've learned. So we have role, which says you're a senior creative strategist and a storyteller for an eco-friendly stationery brand. In process, we have the following reasoning layers like chain of thought, tree of thought, skeleton of thought, and multi-expert thinking. Then we have critical rules for our GPT prompt, giving them some important rules to follow based on our topic. And we have context, including brand, audience, and our goal. We also have a structure and task, which is come up with 3 social media campaign ideas that creatively prompt the recycled notebook line. Wait for my goal before expanding the outline into full ideas. We send this prompt. As you can see, it starts with reasoning outline like themes, tone, target emotion. Next is the 3 creative campaign directions. As I've mentioned, it's work on outline only. So we have 3 options here: page 0 challenge, margins, masterpieces, and trace it back. Then we have quick comparison with pros and cons of each of those 3, and it gives us a picked lead direction and why. So it chooses option A and it gives us its reason. The 3 next step activation ideas and mini debate. At the end, as you can see, it asks again, if you say go, I'll expand this outline into full campaign stories, scripts, post calendars, shot lists, caption templates, creator briefs, booth layout, and the impact metric spec. So as you can see, it's a really good result we've got here. If you're in finance, you can set the goal like create a 3-step savings challenge for clients. If you're a teacher or student, you can set goal for make a creative classroom project plan, and the rest stays the same. The model will still think step by step, explore 3 ideas, compare them, and debate between expert roles before choosing the best one. That's the magic of this structure.
Come on, come on, come on.
It doesn't just generate content, it thinks through a strategy the same way a creative team would. I'll definitely drop this exact mega prompt in a downloadable PDF below. You can copy it, replace the context, and you will get beautiful, thoughtful result instead of vague list.
Nice, that's awesome.
Alright, you've just seen what happens when you stop talking to ChatGPT and start thinking with it. We turned simple prompts into structured reasoning-based conversations, and you've got your first mega prompt to reuse anywhere. This is a series. In each episode, I'll cover one focused section. Stick with me and you will build your own mastery of enhanced GPT prompting and learn how to get creative results like a pro. Hit like, let me know in comments if that was helpful to you, and grab the free cheat sheet in the description to copy every prompt. And I'll see you in the second episode. Let's make GPT your smartest teammate. Bye!